Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Progressive Vibe. I am your host, as always, Dottie. Today is July 18th, 2021. This is the final episode of the season. This is season 4, episode 11. And the title of this episode, Federally Legalizing Cannabis. So, yes, in today's show, we will be talking about how the Democrats, have a new plan to legalize cannabis on the federal level. An article from The Verge that reads, Democrats have a new plan to legalize marijuana federally. So we will be discussing that on today's show. I wanted to start off by saying this will be a shorter show today, guys. I am battling, as you can tell in my voice, if you haven't already, I'm battling allergies, and they have been kicking my butt for at least a week now. I am getting better, but my voice is going in and out, and you know how allergies are. If you get it, it's just, you have allergies, it just sucks. It just head cold, sore throat, coughing, sneezing, runny nose, all that good stuff. So I've been taking medicine and drinking hot tea and honey, and that's been working. But I do want to let you guys know that today will be a shorter show, but I did want to bring you guys one last episode of the season, because last week I did say that I was going to do one, and I wanted to keep my word. So I hope you guys can bear with me through this show. But again, it will be a short one. So let's do the listeners check-in. I want to thank the listeners of the podcast who like, share, and donate to the show. However you show support is greatly appreciated by sharing the podcast on social media. It is the most effective way to get our message out, and it's all totally free, guys. Also, if you have something you want me to discuss on the podcast, you can use the hashtag TPVIB. That's TPVIB on Twitter. Also, follow me on Twitter so I will know that you use that hashtag. You can follow me on Twitter at Dottie_Vibe. That's DODI_VIBE. Hit that follow button, guys. Or you can send me a message from the contact form on the show's website. I will be getting into the show's website here in a second, so bear with me. Also, if you want to stay in touch with the show, you can enter your email address in the Stay in Touch box on the podcast website. The podcast website is The Progressive Vibe 184-970-366.wordpress.com, and that's to get every new episode delivered straight to your inbox. And last but not least, if you want to help us make the show and sustain future episodes in the future, become a monthly supporter on the show's website. Again, the show's website is The Progressive Vibe 184-970-366.wordpress.com. Or if you want to make a one-time contribution, you can do this on the show's Cash App tag, or the show's Cash App. The Cash App tag of the show is Dottie D92. That's DAHDEE 92, and that's if you want to make a contribution through the Cash App. And last but not least, guys, this show is sponsored by we got two sponsors. One is by WordPress. WordPress, if you would like to, if you have a podcast of your own and you would like to create a blog, create your own website for your podcast, you can do that at wordpress.com to learn more, to get started on that. And also, this show is sponsored by Anchor.fm. Anchor.fm is the easiest way to make a podcast. So if I have any listeners out there that is interested in making a podcast of their own, Anchor.fm is the easiest way to do that. So go to Anchor.fm.com to learn more, to get started on that, guys. And on that note, let's get into today's show. So this is a article from The Verge, and it reads: Democrats have a new plan to legalize marijuana federally. It says this proposal would expunge federal convictions and set a minimum age of 21 for cannabis purchases. That first part is a huge deal, and we will get into that in my analysis in the second half of the show. But it goes on to read, guys. On Wednesday, Senator Cory Booker, Democrat out of New Jersey, Chuck Schumer, Democrat out of New York, and Ron Wyden, Democrat out of Oregon, released a discussion draft of legislation that proposes sweeping reform to sweeping reform to marijuana policy in the United States. It goes on to say the Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act would decriminalize marijuana federally, expunge federal nonviolent cannabis convictions, and encourage states to do the same, and create new grant programs to fund nonprofit that provides services to those adversarially impacted by the war on drugs. In the introduction to the 30-page draft legislation, the senators note that adult use of cannabis is already legal in 18 states: Washington, D.C., the Northern Mariana Islands, and Guam. Medically, marijuana is even more widespread, legal in 37 states: Puerto Rico, D.C., Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. These changes represent a dynamic shift in public opinion and support across the political spectrum. The statement notes state compliant cannabis businesses will finally be treated like other businesses and allow access to essential financial services like bank accounts and loans. Medical research will no longer be stifled. It goes on to say, guys, despite recent state actions, marijuana remains illegal at the federal level and subject to prosecution by federal agencies, even in states where cannabis use is permitted. In practice, those prosecutions have been limited, but the risk of federal action has meant that marijuana businesses have limited options when it came to banking, and many non-recreational uses of the plant have been stifled. The ambiguous legal status of marijuana in the U.S. has also heightened racial inequalities in the justice system. According to a 2020 analysis by the American Civil Liberties Union, Black Americans were more than 3 times as likely to be arrested for marijuana possession as white Americans. An analysis by the Washington Post last year found between 2015 and 2019, Black people accounted for 89% of the 3,631 marijuana arrests in Washington, D.C. And I'm going to read the rest of this, guys. Well, not the rest of it, but I'm going to read this last little bit. It goes on to say the proposed legislation addresses, addresses this directly with a number of restorative measures directed towards communities who suffered disproportionately from marijuana prohibitions. The proposal would expunge federal nonviolent marijuana convictions and allow individuals currently serving time to petition for resentencing. The legislation would also create an ongoing fund directing revenue generated from federal cannabis taxes to reinvest in the communities most impacted by the failed war on drugs. In addition, this proposal legislation would establish a minimum age of 21 for cannabis retail sales, conduct an evaluation of the societal impact of legalization by states with adult use of cannabis, introduce 3 grant programs to create opportunity for those harmed by war on drugs, expunge nonviolent federal marijuana arrest and conviction, and encourage states to do the same. Those serving time in federal prison for nonviolent marijuana crimes would be able to petition a court for resentencing, provide funding to eligible states and localities for loan programs for small cannabis businesses owned by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. And last, impose an excess tax on cannabis products similar to those on alcohol and tobacco. And it goes on to read a little bit more, guys. But I will I will post this with the I will post this with the podcast so you guys can read the rest of it, if you like. But this is a huge deal. I do wish that they would take it a step further and not have to have people who've been nonviolent marijuana crimes to just be released from jail or prison due to the legalization of cannabis. I mean, it's no reason why they should have to petition the courts for a resentencing. Um, why are they being resentenced if it's legal and they're in there for having marijuana or smoking marijuana? Shouldn't they just be released instead of having to go through a petition to get a resentencing? I mean, why are they potentially going to be still serving time for something that's hopefully being federally legalized? But the devil is in the details, obviously, and we will have to find out a little bit more. It does say that the final legislation draft is not expected until later this year. So it is going to be this year. But again, the devil's in the details to find out more of how they're going to go by doing this. But there's a little blueprint of what the Democrats are trying to do. And again, so far, so good. But again, it should be critiqued in a way of which I was just talking about due to the expungements of the records of the individuals who are currently serving time due to just simply having non-violent marijuana charges. But after we come back, guys, we're going to have the second half where I struggle to try to make an analysis, to try to get through this, guys. Bear with me. But I appreciate you guys, love you guys, and stay tuned, and we will be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to the second half of the show. So I wanted to give you guys my analysis on the Democrats making it a plan to legalize cannabis. Honestly, by this point, it shouldn't be a Democrat or Republican thing. As you guys, I'm sure, are aware that majority of Democrats support legalizing cannabis on the federal level, as well as the majority of Republicans. I want to say it's around, I think it's around like 80 something percent, almost 80 something percent of Democrats want it to be legalized on the federal level, and about in the high 60s or low 70s of Republicans want it to be legalized on the federal level. And I think nationally it said about 78% nationally. That's almost 80%. That's more than half the country. Um, want it to be a legalized on a federal level thing. And I think by this time in 2021, that we all kind of know that a lot of people enjoy smoking cannabis. I'm sure I have people that listen to this podcast smoke cannabis. I have, you know, family members who smoke cannabis. I'm not against it whatsoever. I've smoked cannabis, so it's not a thing of it's not a thing of it being bad. It's a thing of regulating it like you do any other thing that's regulated. And I think them having the proposal of having it, 21, you have to be 21 or older to be able to purchase it like you would do um, alcohol. I think that's a good move. um, I honestly think that they should raise the age on tobacco to 21. I want to say they do that in certain states, but I know down here in Alabama, you only have to be 19 to buy cigarettes or to purchase any kind of tobacco. Um, you know, I don't think that, I don't know. I just think that, tobacco is just as harmful as alcohol. Because all of the chemicals and things that they spray on tobacco. But um, hey, it's your body. You could do as you please. I'm not against people smoking tobacco, just like I'm not against people smoking marijuana, just like I'm not against people drinking alcohol. But I do agree with it being regulated, because anybody just can't purchase it and things like that. But I am happy that they are taking steps to make sure that businesses are being looked out for, because even if you have a cannabis business in a state who has it legalized in their state, um, you can potentially still get your business confiscated because it's not legal on a federal level. And that's just super problematic because uh, again, the country is progressing forward on things like cannabis legalization, and a whole number of things, but this is like a slam dunk when it comes to having this set into law. It's just you're not going to have too many people run into that's going to be like, no, I don't support legalizing marijuana federally. But again, if we're going to take the necessary steps to legalize it and look out for small businesses and look out for businesses who have already, have a business, subjected to cannabis, or stakeholders that are into the cannabis business, then we also have to look at it um, on the other side, which is we have to make sure that the people who are uh, serving time for non-violent marijuana charges, we have to make sure that their records are not only expunged, but to make it super stress free on them to be released from jail or from prison. It shouldn't have to be, and like I said in the first segment, as I was reading that article, it said that they will have an option to petition the courts to get a re-sentencing. And I just think that that's just not the best way to go about it. I think that the next step should be Okay, if you're able to purchase marijuana now legally, um, anybody can do it. And well, you got to be a certain age, obviously. But if you can just go in and purchase it and smoke it and do whatever you do, then the people who have been incarcerated for having marijuana in their car, or caught having marijuana, or having a roach in their ashtray and being arrested for that, and have to pay all of these expensive court fees simply because they wanted a joint, or they had a joint in their vehicle. Um, they should be subjected to be released without any kind of delay out of jail or out of prison. Because what you're saying is, if it's being legalized on a federal level and it's accepted, then we have to accept the fact that the people who are incarcerated for nonviolent crimes, in that we have to realize that they did nothing wrong in the first place. And we have a moral responsibility to, again, let these people out, because, you know, and expunge their records, because, a lot of their time, a lot of their life, they've been spent in prison because of marijuana, or spent in jail because of marijuana. And their lives can potentially be ruined because they like cannabis. And it just should not be a thing to where you can, excuse me, guys. It should not be a thing to where, like, you have to ruin somebody's life over smoking pot. It just shouldn't be a thing. And I think that this country as a whole, on the on the legalizing marijuana aspect of it, I think we as a country have progressed forward, which is a good thing. And that's what I got to say on that. I wish I could have a little bit more fun with it, but obviously, guys, I am under the weather, because this is a slam dunk for me. This is a really enjoyable episode that I would like to enjoy, but unfortunately, my voice won't let me enjoy it. But I feel like it's safe to say that we all can agree that it's been time to legalize cannabis on a federal level. It's been that time. And that will make it more so that, uh, it will be taxed, obviously, for all the politicians who want to see it as a cash cow. Maybe they don't want to legalize it because people like it, but maybe they want to legalize it because they see potential revenue in it. But regardless, however they see it, long as it gets federally legalized, it will have a positive impact on health conditions, on economic conditions. It's just honestly, it's just a slam dunk piece of legislation that should be passed by the end of the year. We shouldn't go into 2022 and have cannabis still illegal in the United States of America. That just shouldn't be a thing. But we're going to end it there, guys. When we come back, we're going to close out the show. Again, I love you guys. I am so sorry that the podcast wasn't as long as it usually is. Obviously, as you guys know, we skipped the social media break so we can go ahead and get through this. But when we come back, guys, we will close the show. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. That's going to do it for today's show. I want to thank all the listeners for tuning in every week, so consistently. It's really, really awesome that you guys continue to show your guy love, and the love is definitely mutual. Thank you guys for the kind words, the emails that I've received from some of the listeners, and some of the listeners who just touch bases with me to just tell me, hey, keep going, you're doing a good job. I've referred this to some of my friends and family, and that's just so awesome, and I appreciate you guys. The Progressive Vibe, our listener base is continuing to grow. I think we're at, let me check. I think we're at 30 listeners. So we got a consistency of 30 people listening to this show. That's so awesome, because it was a few months ago, it was like 11. And so now it's at 30, and I can't just thank you guys enough for just showing me love. It's so humbling, and I really do appreciate you guys. We're going to be back on season 5 strong. I do want to touch on the subject that we talked about today, legalizing cannabis federally, on another episode. Hopefully I'll be able to bring on a guest as well to break down how cannabis is beneficial to not just your life, but economically, and how positive of an impact it can have just on society itself. But I wasn't on my A game today, as you guys can clearly tell in my voice, but I do want to bring this discussion back in the future, and we will do so. We are going to hopefully have in season 5 the Progressive Vibe posted on YouTube. Hopefully I'll be able to get that up for you guys. I do want to leave you guys with some of the things that I reiterated in the intro. So I will do that now. So if you have anything you want me to discuss on the podcast in the future, you can follow me on Twitter at Dottie_Vibe. That's DODI_VIBE, and use the hashtag TPVibe on Twitter. Or you can send me a message from the contact form on the show's website. You can also stay in touch with the show. Enter your email address in the stay in touch box on the show's website to get on the show's podcast website to get every new episode delivered straight to your inbox. The show's website is theprogressivevibe1849703666.wordpress.com. And last but not least, guys, if you want to help us make the show and sustain future episodes, become a monthly supporter. Shout out to the monthly supporters that have already subscribed. I really do appreciate that. If you want to learn more how to become a monthly supporter, you can go to the show's website. It'll be at the bottom of the page. It's theprogressivevibe1849703666.wordpress.com. If you don't want to do that, you can make a one-time contribution to the show's Cash App. The show's Cash App tag is DottyD92. That's DAHDEE 92. And that's if you want to make a one-time contribution to the show. However you guys support the show, it is greatly appreciated. Sharing the show on social media is the most effective way to get the word out, get the message out, and it's totally free. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. We will be back season 5 strong. We will have a load of fresh topics to talk about. I cannot wait. Until then, guys, stay positive, stay progressive, and I will see you in season 5. Peace out.